Hi everyone. In the last lecture about SpringCloud API Gateway, we have already seen that we have created three services: server A, in which we had created a controller. So the controller was nothing but server A controller, and this server A controller was sending data received from server A, and it was running on port number 8081. Similarly, server B was there, and server B was having a controller in which it was returning data received from server B, and this was running on port number 8082. What we had done earlier is that we have created a Spring API gateway. If I minimize this part and open this data, we can see that we have created this gateway in which no controller was there, but only the mapping was done. How the mapping was done? This was API gateway was running on port number 8085. Through 8085 only we were routing all the servers. So server A was pointing to 8081, which was having this particular path. It was being routed to 8085, and also server B, which was running on 8082, with this path routing to 8085 only. So all the servers which were routed through this server, that is Spring API Gateway, was being routed through 8085. This, as you can see, it is already up and running, server A, B, and API Gateway. If I go and hit this data, and I will receive data received from server B. If I change this to server A, and this part also server A, and you can see data received from server A is coming. How they are coming? They are coming from the controllers. Server A controller, and this is server B controller, and data is being received from server A and server B simultaneously. In this lecture we will see how we can route the data and can receive the details using route locator and can get the details without using YML file details. So here I will change this YML file and erase all the YML configuration. Let me stop the servers also. So I have stopped all the servers which were there, and now no server is up and running. It's just that this application.yml file, if you want, we can change it to refactor this to properties file also, properties, and in this we can define this port as 8085, which is running on port number 85. So now everything is without the configuration of properties. Now in this API gateway, either we can create a route locator or we can create the route locator builder and other stuffs here. So we can do is that we can provide it here only, or we can create a configuration file. So in that we can go to the class. I'll create this class as API gateway config file. It will be inside this config package .config, and I will annotate this config package with @configuration, because in this configuration I am going to create a bean. Bean of what? Bean of route locator. So I will provide @bean. Inside this bean I will provide public route locator, and this route locator, as you can see, is coming from the route of gateway only, that is SpringCloud configuration which we have provided. Just to summarize that, we have embedded the dependency of API gateway and webflux. And now let's go to the config file. So route locator is coming from the dependency of gateway only, which we have provided in the form, and then comes the method. So I'll provide route locator, and in this route locator I will provide route locator builder. So route locator builder, I will provide the name as builder only, and this builder will return me the locator. So I'll return the route locator builder, that is builder dot routes, and after this routes I'll create a route. So route will be a function, so I will provide the function as the same function which I provided. So in this I provided this as server A, so I'll provide it here in the API gateway also as server A. So this server A will be providing me the details, so I'll provide here. So server A with route locator as route will be pointing to route locator dot path, and this path will be nothing but the path which I have provided in the mapper or request mapping. So it is server A, so I'll provide it here as server A, and after that this dot URI. This will be HTTP because we are going with HTTP only, and localhost HTTP/localhost, and this server A is running on port number 8081. As you can see, this is running on 8081, so I'll provide 8081 only, and this is pointing to this. So we are done with route part. So another route I want to route for the other server also, that is server B. So I have the other server as server B. This is pointing to as server B and localhost 8082. Just to confirm, I will open the server B part. In the server B, I am going with server -B and server -B data. So server B is the request mapping, which I am mapping it to API gateway as server B. This server B is pointing to port number 8082. So for that only I provided here as localhost 8082. And after this I will say .build. So my route will be built from here. This is the configuration we need to provide if I am going with the code level configuration. Now I provided the configuration of gateway. So let me start these two servers one by one. So first server I have started. It is running on port number 8081. Second server B, let's run as Spring Boot application, and it will start on port number 8082. Then I will start the API gateway, which is the main gateway through which we will call the server A and server B. So this will point to server B at server A and B, and this is having the port of 8085. So now let's go to the browser and see whether the things are working or not. So this is the data which we are checking. Now again, let me copy this part and let's open a browser in which server A we are pointing through 8085. Again, we have removed the YML properties and converted to property file. Everything is through code only. So when I will hit A, it will give me directories from server A. If I'll hit B, server B as a initial URL, then B hyphen data, it will give me data from server B. So this was about how we can convert the existing gateway properties file to existing code configuration, and how we can create a config bean in which we can provide the route locator. These all things are, you can see, are coming from the route only of a cloud gateway. So this is about creation of cloud gateway and routing of different services through code. Thank you all for watching.